Hello, you all. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I am your melanated queen, Lil Foxy, aka Seventh Wonder. Today's topic is something that I think is very prevalent, especially since we are facing the alleged COVID pandemic that they have actually orchestrated. And it's called Operation Mockingbird, you all. And so many of you may or may not be aware of Operation Mockingbird, but for those of you who are not abreast with this scenario, I am going to read to you some information about Operation Mockingbird. Okay, now you can simply pull this up. There is actually an official document that you can find, and I'm going to share this with you. It's called Senate.gov Intelligent Files, and it's a PDF. You can click on it, and then it brings up an actual document, an official document. I don't know if the camera will zoom in on it or not. But there you have it, okay? So you can actually check this out for yourselves. All right. Now, this document says Wednesday, July 17th, 1996, but these antics have been going on far beyond then. If you all are familiar, there was a situation that happened with John F. Kennedy where he was assassinated, you all, out in Dallas, Texas. Operation Mockingbird was called into place when they interviewed the alleged witnesses. So if you've ever heard of crisis actors, they were taking place back then. That was back in the 70s. So a lot of us was not even born yet. And also, a lot of the witnesses that did see what happened ended up missing or dead. And we have also seen this happen in 9/11, 2001 with the alleged Twin Tower attacks. Okay, a lot of these things have been orchestrated by the government. I actually did some very extensive research on the whole scenario of 9/11, and I don't know if that video is still out there. I looked for it because I watched that video probably like 5 to 6 years ago. I couldn't find it. I searched and I dug for that video. A lot of things have been scrubbed from the internet, and I actually had prepared a presentation for you all, a video back in the early spring, and it had a whole lot of information regarding our former melanated president, and you all know who I'm speaking of. He is not who you think he is either. Okay, so just remember that when Donald Trump warned you all about fake news and that the former president did not have a valid birth certificate, you might want to take a little bit of initiative to do some research on that. Also, he spoke about the electoral votes, the election fraud that has taken place. And again, you're going to see in Operation Mockingbird how the media has been used to manipulate a lot of people and the way that they think, the way that they feel, to try to control your opinions and your thoughts and your mind. So let me get in here and see if I can bring this up. And I'm going to read to you a little bit of this document. Okay. How the CIA paid and threatened journalists to do its work. All right. The CIA has long played the international game of propaganda required by an intelligence agency, but during the Cold War, the agency paid and intimidated journalists into helping promote its messages. Famous Watergate reporter Carl Bernstein broke the story in 1977 for Rolling Stone. Bernstein revealed the workings of Operation Mockingbird, in which many journalists, including Pulitzer Prize winners, joined the CIA's payroll, writing fake stories to disseminate the agency's AGIT prop, okay, and providing intelligence. Other journalists were threatened and blackmailed into cooperating with Mockingbird, and many were given falsified or fabricated information about their actions in order to engender their support for the CIA's mission. The program has never been officially discontinued. So if you think for 1 minute that the news is real when you have Trump that was telling you that there's fake news out there, we have also seen it for our very own eyes as they were using dummies in the hospital bed and telling us that they were COVID patients, that they were dying and on ventilators, you all. Now, I do know people that have had family members that have allegedly succumbed to this pandemic, but I think there's something far more sinister going on behind the scenes than what we could ever fathom. And if you look at my prior videos, I talked to you about that. You also want to check out Dr. Buttar. He talks about it. Dr. Shiva speaks about it. Just recently, Dr. Fauci came out with a statement stating that the COVID vaccination was actually developed by some leading scientists, one of those which is an African American female, and he was very blatant to point that out for some reason. I guess his decision for stating that to make melanated people feel more comfortable about trying to take this vaccine. But I'm out here looking at a lot of comments, and a lot of people are not falling for the antics. So it could potentially be some pushback. I was also listening earlier, I think it was on CNN, and they are talking about getting the National Guard involved. The military may be on standby, you all, to mandate these vaccinations. So if you do not want your veins being injected against your will, you may have to do what you have to do, okay? And you know what that entails, because basically you're going to be fighting for your lives if you don't stand up at some point in time. So the media has been lying to us over the years. This has been going on for many decades. We are very much aware of it. There are some documentaries out there that I would definitely post in the link in the description box below that I would love for you to take a look at so you can do the research yourself. One of them speaks about Tupac, and as you all know, his real name was Lassane Crooks. He was not named Tupac Amaru Shakur. That the mother, her name I think was Alice, and you know, it's just the story is so far-fetched that we begin to believe in these antics and these theatrics that people feed us because we want to believe in the people that they put into the forefront before our very own eyes. But you all, if you just take some time and develop your own skills and develop a business for yourselves, you will be so much further than sitting in front of the TV, watching movies, watching the news, watching any of these trash reality TV shows they put in our faces. I, for one, do not subscribe to cable, nor do I think I'll ever will again in the future. So many of your brain cells are wasted. So much of your time and your life is wasted by them telling us and feeding us what they want us to do, want us to believe. They tablespoon the lies to us. They feed us whatever information they want us to allegedly know. So just always look behind what they tell you. Look at what they're not telling you, because somewhere within there lies the truth, and you have to have a sense of discernment. I want to say thank you to my spiritual ancestors and my spiritual guides for guiding me and giving me the wherewithal to think for myself, because a lot of people will fight you, and a lot of people don't want to hear the truth because it is so far from what they want to believe. And there is something called cognitive dissonance. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with that. So if it's something that goes outside of their belief system, then they reject it, and that is a dangerous way to be. There have been scientists that have studied the human brain, and they actually use these strategies and techniques in World War II against the population. They weaponized the food. They put sugar in your food to weaponize you. This is why a lot of people have a sugar rush. They get a sweet tooth and they have to have sugar. That was implemented back during the World War II with Adolf Hitler. So you might want to research that as well. There are many different tactics and strategies that take place in front of our very eyes that if you don't pay attention, you will fall victim and succumb to the nonsense and the antics out here, you all. I'm going to see if I can pull up anything else that I can read to you very briefly. I'm going to cut this video a little short. It's a 50-page document. Okay, so this right here is on page 3. It says Nonetheless, I don't see how public discussion of which Americans are or not authorized to be helpful to their country as an intelligence assets will improve the quality of U.S. intelligence. Much of the discussion that we just had with the Department of Defense centered on why didn't we know? Why weren't we able to find out what terrorists had in mind in regards to Americans deployed in Saudi Arabia? Question mark. How come we weren't able to find out? Well, that is not likely. Those questions are not likely to be answered as a consequence of us reading the morning newspaper or watching the evening news or going down to the Saudi Arabia Chamber of Commerce and having a discussion about what's going on. So if you're not familiar with this, back in, I want to say 94, around that time frame, I was so young back then. I was like in elementary school. They had the Desert Storm War. George Bush Sr., which was George Bush Jr.'s father, sent our troops over to the Middle East, and allegedly it had something to do with some oil. And if you notice, his son did the same thing, and allegedly they said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, which was not true at all. These were the things they wanted to do for their own agendas, you all. Second, I may risk being politically incorrect in saying so, but I simply didn't see why any profession should be completely and permanently excluded from the possibility of working with CIA or DIA. So this just goes on and on. I'm not going to read too much of this because I am not too familiar with this document, but what I do know is that you can pull up many different forms of information about this topic. So I just wanted to make you all aware and keep you abreast of what's going on out here. Again, it's called Operation Mockingbird, where the CIA has infiltrated many of the news outlets. It's all types of information out there. And like I said, it has been scrubbed. I had a video that I wanted to put together for you all, which spoke about the former melanated alleged president and his alleged wife. If you all recall, Joan Rivers, she actually died right after she made these comments about the reality of what goes on with the president. There is a guy that also ended up dead, and he had basically proof on his cell phone about some things, and I heard about that back in 2016, but apparently he brought this information out back in 2008 before the former president was inaugurated into office. So they have a way to conjure up what they want you to see, and they have a way to suppress the information that they don't want you to see. We can see this happening on Facebook. We see this happening on Instagram, on YouTube, any major public platform. They are censoring people. They're taking down their comments. They're deleting pages. They are going through and looking at everything you're doing. Right before I made this video, I was trying to make it the first time. The camera cut off and gave me an error message I never received before. I do know someone that used to work in politics, and he informed me that the government has a way to tap into your devices to make them stop working, to have your computer to have error messages and all types of things. A lot of people think these are conspiracy theories, but that's why they call it a theory, because they want to discredit you. If that's the case, we could talk about the evolution theory, which is nothing more than a theory. So I discredit that. We can talk about the Big Bang theory, that everything banged together to create the universe and everything we have in it. We did not evolve from animals, you all. Especially melanated people. We know this. So if we want to talk and criticize theories, then we can talk and criticize the theories that they teach us in school and even in college. All right. So they have ways to basically look into your devices. If you have an iPad, iPhone, laptop, any device with a camera, a microphone, they're listening to you. Alexa, Siri, all of these things are listening to you. All the microphones that you use to talk into, the cable microphones, basically your TV screens, they can look at you from behind the screen. They can tap into your home and see what's going on. And so I never did sign up to have my TV hooked up to the internet. I did not trust it, and I still won't do it. They said that if you don't want, your privacy interrupted, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but if you don't want to be intervened with this situation, go ahead and just take like a sheet or a blanket and cover up your screen. Okay. There are a lot of things, we're being watched constantly each and every day. They're monitoring everything that we do. We all are aware of this. Just know that the National Guard has been called, the military. And I was listening to the news earlier, and I think this was on CNN. They're saying that the National Guard may be called in for mandated vaccines if they need their assistance. So everybody get ready out there. You already know what to do. I've told you before, the things that you really want to invest in will be ammunition. Out in Virginia now, they are only allowing one gun per household per month. Why are they keeping this much control over your firearms? Because they want to have control over you. Also, you might want to get a bulletproof vest. You might want to get when I say face masks, I'm talking about gas masks. So if they ever release tear gas out into the crowds, if you want to go out there and protest, be prepared. I wouldn't personally go out there because it's an unfair fight, and a lot of people are just infiltrating the situation, like we saw with the George Floyd situation. And you had George Soros involved in that as well. So everybody, just do your due diligence to do your research. I just wanted to make you aware. I'm not going to drag this out too long, but this is just a brief message to keep you abreast on what has been taking place in the media, especially as it relates to COVID. I will post some videos in the description box with the links below, and I hope you do take a look at it. You all, I was a major Tupac fan. I had to come to my senses and understand that he too was being used by the CIA, and I think so many celebrities are. Quickly, I just want to let you know that I have Brown Girls Are Beautiful. BGAB has wine glasses, and I'm very proud of these. So you want to drink wine, you're a sophisticated lady such as myself. We have wine glasses in assorted colors. I also have this beautiful blue right here with the glitter ink. I don't know if you can see that. This is what it looks like. I also have King beer mugs, and I'm going to also show you right here. We also have mugs, so you can sip your tea, you can sip your hot chocolate or coffee or whatever have you. Have some other things as well. Right now I am wearing the Brown Girls Are Beautiful hoodie. This was customized for myself. I will be I will be adding on more things as well. Right here we have Brown Girls Are Beautiful hoodie. If you all would like one of these, you know how to hit me up. I'm on BROWN. So that's brown.girls.r.beautiful. Again, that's brown.girls.r.beautiful. And that's on Instagram. We also have the King face mask, you all, since these are unfortunately required in many places. So if you want something like this, you can hit me up and get one of these. I sell a lot of these, you all. We have our beautiful face masks as well. I love this color. I think it's beautiful. Let's see what else we got. All right, so, and here's a different design right here that I came up with. Okay, also we have mini tote bags, and just a moment, let me see if I can grab one of those. All right, here are the tote bags, you all, mini tote bags. So if you have little trinkets that you want to carry, check out our mini tote bags. I also have some bigger size tote bags, and we also have the coolie cup holders. So let me get a few of those. Okay, and this is what they look like. So my apologies for standing up and getting in front of the camera, but I just wanted to give you a synopsis of what we've been working on behind the scenes. And I have much more to come, you all. I'm very excited about expanding the business. I may be switching some things around, but be patient with me. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for your support. I have been sending out shipments to people. I have been, mailing things out to people, and I thank you so much for your support, each and every last one of you. Brown Girls Are Beautiful thanks you greatly, and we will continue to grow. If you have a topic, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I will come up with some more content, and hopefully I can be here on a more regular and consistent basis, you all. I am doing a number of different things at once. So this is why I've been absent for a little while. But I thank you so much for your attention. I'm not going to hold you anymore. I'm going to leave you with this: alles gut, which is a German phrase for all is good. Okay, it's spelled ALLES. That's alles gut, GUT, alles gut. Thank you so much. Shout out to all the princes and princesses out there. Kings, continue to support these queens and protect these queens. Princes and princesses out here, be the warriors that you are, and the queens be the goddesses, empresses, whatever you want to call yourself. You know who I'm speaking to. Walk in your divinity, you all. Thank you so much, and you all stay blessed.